Hi, race fans. Welcome in the post-Oktoberfest race weekend 7 Rivers Racing Show. I'm Dan Deicher. Thanks for joining us. Over the next couple of weeks, the program will continue to run until the end of October. We're going to be bringing you a lot of video. We're going to be showing you like the last 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes of a lot of the big races that happened during Oktoberfest race weekend, because you'd rather see those replays than me rambling the entire time, and we have a lot of footage. KQEG TV was there with 1 and 2 cameras all weekend. Captured pretty much every chill and spill, every checkered flag finish, and then some. Drivers climbing out of their pickup trucks, yelling at other drivers. We'll touch on that here in a couple of moments as well. So in today's show, I want to give you an entire rundown of what happened Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Oktoberfest race weekend. Segment 2, I had a chance to interview a couple of figure-8 drivers from the Elko and Speedway. I want to get that one right. Up in Minnesota, State Park Speedway. It's going to be Todd Wilson and Mark Bronstad joining us in the program, and thought we would give you one of the most exciting times for a gentleman this weekend. We're going to give you the Thursday night race, the Sportsman race at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, since we had a whole bunch of other drivers that were involved from different tracks, and we're going to show the last closing probably 15 laps of that race right there, and then more to come throughout the month of October. So without further ado, over 450 entries concluded in 13 new track records. That is amazing. We knew some were going to fall. We didn't know others were going to fall, and they just kept coming one after another. A dozen championships, $1,000, thousands of dollars it is, won in 50-50 raffles, a lot of camaraderie, a lot of great times at the La Crosse Speedway, and that led up to, well, the finale. Let's get you back to Thursday. Super Late Model Futures race was won by Cole Anderson. NASCAR Late Models was won by Ty Majeski. Man, did he clean up. I'm going to give you his entire slate here in a moment. The Chase Champ for the Late Models for La Crosse went to Mike Carlson. The champion of the division was Steve Carlson. Sportsman winner was Brad Worth in his first ever Oktoberfest race feature. The Chase Champ went to Steve Bachman, second year in a row. Overall points champ was Nick Clements. In the Thunderstocks, it was Andy Moore not only winning back-to-back feature races, he also won the last season race, then he won the Oktoberfest race, and he was crowned the overall champion. In the Hornets, young Jimmy Bjorkman gets his first Oktoberfest race feature. Champion was Chris Thunderberg, won it on his birthday. Congratulations. Outlaws went to Corey Kemkis in his late model. The Outlaw champion this year was Jason Stark. In the Bandits, it was Phil Maliff. Double O was won by the 192 of Kyle Stark. To Friday we go, the Dick Trickle 99. 3 segments were won by Dan Frederickson, Cole Anderson, and Ty Majeski. The overall Dick Trickle 99 winner again was Danny Frederickson. Great Northern Sportsman Series, Conrad Jorgensen, owner of the Pink Flamingo. He wins the Oktoberfest feature. The champion for the GNSS this year was Dave True. Congratulations. Broke a lot of track records and won a lot of features this year in that number 2 car. The Midwest Truck Series saw Tommy Picaro win. What a smash-em-up race that was. Got a news and note here on that one coming up as well. Saturday, Big 8 Late Models. Ty Majeski won. The overall points champion was Michael Bilderback. Mid-American Series was between Dan Gilster and Nick Clements. What a race those two guys ran. Gilster wins the race. Ryan Gutnick was the overall Mid-Am Series champion. Midwest Dash Series, it was Kyle Stark winning not only the race, but he was also the champion. He did something phenomenal. There was 26 entries. The Midwest Expo coming up in January offered him $200 if he wins the race starting in the back. He did. He won. Extra $200 on the podium. I was right there when Greg McCormick presented it. What a weekend for Kyle Stark. Sunday, the ARCA Midwest Tour. Finally a big chip off the shoulder of Toby Noodleman. He's been waiting 30 years to win this race. He did it with his driver, Ty Majeski, through a couple of interesting restarts as well. He held off Johnny Sauter, held off Danny Frederickson, held off Andrew Morrissey and Chris Weinkoff. JMAC 63, Ty Majeski won all 3 segments. He was the overall winner, and the vintage race went to Woody Poole. So that was your complete rundown. Here's what Ty Majeski did for Oktoberfest. A lot of people are like, oh, it's more Majeski. This is dominant. He wins ARCA, the Midwest Tour Championship for the 3rd straight year. That's never been done. The amount of races he won this year has never been done in the ARCA Midwest Tour. He won the La Crosse Late Models feature. He won the Big 8 Late Model Series feature, set a new track record. Won all 3 segments of the JBAC Big 8 invite. He won the Oktoberfest 200 Midwest Tour race and again was the 2016 ARCA Midwest Tour champion. Hope you got that kid's autograph because he's running ARCA this weekend in Kansas. Very doubtful how much you're going to see him at La Crosse Speedway next weekend. One other side note I do want to mention, if you saw the end of that truck race between Jeremy Lepak and Tommy Piccaro, slammed into each other in turn 4, slammed into each other down the front straightaway. Piccaro's truck ends up getting trashed up in turn number 4 or turn number 1. The truck is all in pieces. It blows on fire. Piccaro jumps out, yells at Lepak, marches back to the winner's circle. They actually brought that broken truck back later on. The Midwest Truck Series, who did a nice job this year at getting the truck numbers back up, the enthusiasm back up, enthusiasm that is. It was mentioned this week, Jeremy Lepak has been reprimanded and suspended for the Halloween race at Dells Raceway Park because of the incident, and he will also be on probation for the 2 events of 2017. Kudos to the Midwest Truck Series. That did not have to happen to where it was. Usually I'm very non-judgmental in scenarios like that, but if you saw that race, it was a side-by-side race. Some people said, Rubbin's racing, that happens in racing. That was intentional, and if you saw Piccaro's truck as it was tossed up into turn 1 catching on fire, that did not need to happen. So a suspension goes out to Jeremy Lepak for rough driving, and he's been suspended for the following race coming up at the Dells. It was in the points race as well, and he's also on probation for the 2 races of 2017. So without further ado, let's get you back to Oktoberfest. The whole rest of the month is going to be devoted to that. Mark Bronstad, Todd Wilson, a chance to get together with Billy Doc Niles and myself. You might want to sit back and put on your headgear for this one because it's quite hilarious. That and more coming up next on Seven Rivers Radio.
Whatever your perfect temperature, you'll enjoy consistent comfort with the heating and air conditioning systems homeowners rank #1. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists, providing Coulee Region families with perfect indoor weather all year long. Call for your free estimate today. The next time you visit the west coast of Wisconsin, there's a hotel in La Crosse you need to check into. Here's General Manager Roxanne North.
We want to treat every guest with the best that we have to offer, and that starts with the front desk all the way through the housekeeping department. My general philosophy in life is I treat my staff the way I want to be treated, and I pass that on that we treat our guests that way.
For reservations, visit the website, settlein.com.
People come here, we want them to feel like family.
Have you tried the great lunch buffet at Pizza Hut? Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1:30, Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona offers you an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet for just $5.99. All the salad, pasta, breadsticks, and of course, delicious piping hot pizza you can eat. How about dinner? Try the triple treat box from Pizza Hut. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas, an order of breadsticks, and a Hershey's chocolate chip cookie, just $19.99. Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona. Call for delivery or order online. Pizza Hut.
Short track racing is alive and well in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Hi, this is Dan Deicher, The Voice. Join me and Billy Doc Niles each week at noon on Kugel 1460 for Wisconsin's most comprehensive racing report. We'll talk with local and national drivers and bring you up to date on what's going on in western Wisconsin's finest short tracks. If you love racing, you'll love our show. The Whitetail Crossing Convenience Store Race Report, Saturdays at noon on Kugel 1460 WBOG. Welcome back, Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Radio Man Dan Deicher, getting ready to throw the voice out here for the next 4 days. 47th Annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend. Billy Doc Niles, a couple of guys you introduced me to about 8 years ago here at the Speedway, aren't even from here. They don't even race here, but yet they come down every single year.
These are some good friends of ours. Met them through racing, which was cool, and a bond through some beer that we mutually liked. But,
just at that time or through the years?
To my immediate right, this is Todd Wilson, and right next to Deicher is Mark Bronstad, some good friends of ours. Figure 8 racers from the Twin Cities. We went up and watched them a couple times at the old Raceway Park. And so what have you guys been up to? Todd, we'll just start with you. What's been going on lately?
Well, since they closed Raceway 3 years ago, we turned into fans instead of racers and been coming out here and supporting Elko in Minnesota. We were here a couple times, I think, this summer.
Yeah, at least
for the
twice,
regular,
I can remember,
regular show. And this is my 25th year here at the Fest. So we got down here Sunday at 7 o'clock, stayed over at the Memorial Park, and We were here for Camper Dash. That's something to see.
He was the one that was telling me the stories I was telling you about.
Crazy. It was fun.
And I was going to get to that, Mark. When you guys come out here, I mean, you guys have been a part of that mad dash here. Have you ever seen it get as big and as crazy as it was this year?
It was pretty good this year. Yeah, there's a lot of campers back there. And normally, this time of the week is when they really start piling in, but they're already here this year. That's amazing.
Yeah, they were mentioning there from the Elko Speedway, of course. You guys have a lot of drivers you support here. One thing is a lot of those sportsman drivers were calling lacrosse home this year, and they're going to be here quite a bit next year. You got to be kind of excited because you guys can get the best of both worlds quite a few times next year.
You know, racing is fun whenever there's competition, especially short track racing like we have here in Wisconsin, Minnesota. But when you come down and you know the racers, that it's amazing. And we have a small knit family, and that just makes it 10 times more fun.
Todd, what you got something to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, just being here or being at any racetrack with us racing as long as we did, and and now just to be able to support the short track racing. I'm telling everybody right now, we lost our track 3 years ago. Tell everybody, all your friends and family, get to short track racing. It's some of the best racing you'll get. And for the price and what you're getting, it's unbelievable.
I've been saying that for a long time. I mean, this is 47 years now. We've seen a lot of tracks drop in Wisconsin just this past year. Lacrosse, we're still running strong. Elko's still running strong. But then at the end of the year, everybody still comes back here. 50, 60,000 people, a couple thousand campers. I mean, that pretty much puts a statement on what short track racing actually is.
It's unbelievable here. I mean, just all the different cars that you can see and the classes you can see. It's almost too much racing, but it's really not. I mean,
I can't believe you just said that.
I know, it's unbelievable.
Too much beer, too much racing.
Yeah, that's probably true.
One of the things I would love to see here, obviously we're never going to see it, and when we were at that last race at Shakopee, I told you guys after many cool beverages, I've never announced in 26 years a figure 8 race. I probably would have lost my voice during that night. For those that in the lacrosse area watching this that don't understand figure 8 racing, give us the 30-second on that thing.
In 30 seconds, it's what you do in downtown Minneapolis during rush hour traffic. But we don't have stop and go. It's you just go.
Yeah, figure 8s. It was the best part to be in, or the best class to be in. At first I thought there's no chance I'm going to run this figure 8 stuff, and I did it once, and I hooked. I mean, we were hooked on it.
The reality is the reason that I retired from racing is because there is not another place to race and do what we did at Raceway Park. This is all amazing, but I could never race again and have the kind of excitement and the kind of adrenaline rush that we had from doing what we did at Raceway Park.
And Billy, I was just going to bring that up too. That would be like you. I mean, you're out of late model racing after 33 years. Someone says, hey, Bill, you want to run a Thunderstock? You would have to learn racing all over again. Same thing with you guys. Figure 8s, I mean, you got to know what you're doing on a figure 8 track. It's totally different from coming out here and running a Sportsman.
Following into that, how hard is it to set up a figure 8 car compared to just a normal car turning left all the time?
You wouldn't think it was that much of a difference, but it actually was. I mean, it was quite a bit different. Even to go out and run our competitive cars in a circle, we would get beat because we were set up to go both ways,
Yeah,
so
it takes a special class of drivers to go both ways.
Racing,
yes.
Not that there's anything against that.
Now, another thing I wanted to bring up, you guys are not only best friends, but you were some very good competitors, very hard competitors on each other. Matter of fact, it was, 3-4 years ago, and you two were going for a championship. Tell us what happened the last night.
He liked my rear bumper more than I didn't, I guess.
If he had been faster, I would have never touched him.
It happens,
If you can't dump your friend, who can you dump?
This is true. So you guys have Elko now, and of course, I mean, Shakopee is always going to be a big thing to you guys. It's not just the two of you. I mean, you guys got a huge group of fans that I see down here every single year that come out of Elko, and a huge family in the grandstands as well, and that kind of leads into a question.
Yeah, if you could pan right now, you wouldn't believe how many people are sitting here watching this interview. That's incredible.
They paid them $1.50 just to stand here to applaud.
Yeah, we got to pay for that.
Pan, are we cooking bacon?
But who's got the bacon?
Don't say bacon in front of Deicher.
We were talking a minute ago with Brad Worth, and of course his dad Billy ran out here back when Trickle did. He used to run Thomas Sparta Raceway. He did as well. And we talked a lot about family. You guys kind of emphasize that as well with not only the two of you, your campground, the people that come with you every single year.
You know, the thing for me is I raced myself personally for 11 years, and I have some really good family. But the friends at Raceway Park, my racing group that turned into family, is amazing. You cannot put a price tag on what you get out of that.
It is. The raceway, even the whole Raceway Park was a huge thing. It was a little bit different than what you'll find anywhere else. I don't think you could duplicate that part. You know, Elko's doing a really great job right now. They're getting that back, and I'm so big on supporting the short track programs everywhere. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Now, even though you're retired, you still kind of get into it a little bit at Elko. Didn't you help them out with the bus races a couple of times?
That's my phone.
They mentioned bus racing. Someone screams. It's not.
Is your wife calling?
Yeah, it's probably my wife. Elko asked us to supply the drivers this year because a couple too many people would get in and just go racing. We're not there to race. Let's mix it up. Let's have a good time with the buses and anything I can help to make that program better. I mean, last weekend they had a sold-out crowd. It was unbelievable. It was really fun.
When you guys obviously have seen my Facebook and many others, there's some big names coming up here this year with the Quapples and the Pollards and some guys out of Florida. We were talking about how big short track racing still is here. What does it mean to you guys when you see these big names start popping out left and right, especially this one? You got 5 or 6 of them join the ARCA series.
You know, the funny thing is the big names, you're throwing out big names, and they are big names, but we see some of the other names here that aren't maybe as popular or whatever, but they're all big names to us. And when you throw those in the mix, you couldn't find better racing. And I love NASCAR on TV, but this is where it all started. And when you see those big names coming back here to be a part of it, that just tells you how big it is.
And, of course, it's funny when we say big names, we're used to seeing Ty Majeski over the past 2.5 years, and who knows how many more years he's even going to run lacrosse.
There's kids running. Look at Derek Krause. I mean, I followed
8th grader for crying out loud.
That's unbelievable. I can tell you I wasn't doing that at 13. I have something else in my mind.
I think that kid only goes up to our belt line. He's
yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, that's really cool to see these stories and all the pro. I mean, Nick Mergic coming up. I mean, it's amazing, and I can't wait. I mean, it's a great show. It's tough to sleep for the 3 days before I come down here.
We really got to touch on something. There was a guy that was going to come down and race here this weekend, Conrad Jorgensen. And
this is a great story.
And he got his house broke into and basically got a bunch of money stolen. He couldn't make it. And someone in our family started a GoFundMe page, and our family funded him. He's here now. He's going to race this weekend, and my heart is touched by that happening.
That is awesome, but isn't Conrad Jorgensen the one who always proclaimed, why bring a race car to a party?
You know, the guy that operates the Pink Flamingo always told me never bring a race car to a party. And that GoFundMe account, they set that at $200 or $2,000, and I think it was just under $4,000 a couple days ago that they got.
And it was going quick. And
awesome.
I looked at it this morning before I came out of the track, and there were still people donating. I mean, that's just a small story of what you see in a tight-knit racing community like lacrosse, Elko, Rockford, Madison. I mean, yeah, they're 2, 3, 4 hours away, but when you come to think about it, we're not that far apart.
Yeah. And you know what, I talked to him earlier when he got here, and he was super humbled. I mean, he's so excited, and I can tell you everything that can get into that car into victory lane is going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, Mark and Todd, they come out of Minnesota. They're here every single year. Great guys to be sitting in the grandstands with every single year during the regular season. When we talk family, of course, Billy and I were putting the show together. You were the first names we thought of to get down here. So we greatly appreciate you guys coming down.
Yeah, thank you for being here, guys.
We're very happy to be here. We won't miss it.
Anything we can do, we'll help. I'm all for it.
I'm going to remember that when the sun goes down tonight now.
All right. Come over for some Boone's Farm.
All righty, Mark and Todd, they come out of Minnesota. You're going to hear these guys and see these guys all weekend long as part of the 47th annual Oktoberfest race weekend. Billy Doc Niles and Mark and Todd, we're going to wrap this part up right here. Yeah, look at the Radio Man Dan. Those will be on sale this week with JLO Collectibles and the Glass Carver. Going to be right down here. And something else we're going to feature on KQEG TV this week, live qualifying.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. If you're watching this on Thursday or Friday, we're going to have live streaming on KQEGTV.com for qualifying on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this weekend. So if you can't make it out for qualifying, get on your computer or your smartphone and check it out.
I thought about asking these guys to do the radio show with me here at the Bubnick RV Media Center, but I don't know if you'll be awake at noon on Saturday.
I'll be
awake. It's a matter of whether or not we'll be sober.
We'll bring the show to you guys. I want to thank these guys for coming on. Billy and I are going to be back with a whole lot more here. It's the 47th annual Oktoberfest Race Weekend at La Crosse Speedway on Seven Rivers Racing.
Short track racing is alive and well in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Hi, this is Dan Deicher, The Voice. Join me and Billy Doc Niles each week at noon on Google 1460 for Wisconsin's most comprehensive racing report. We'll talk with local and national drivers and bring you up to date on what's going on in western Wisconsin's finest short tracks. If you love racing, you'll love our show. The Whitetail Crossing Convenience Store Race Report, Saturdays at noon on Google 1460 WBOG.
Have you tried the great lunch buffet at Pizza Hut? Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1:30, Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona offers you an all-you-can-eat lunch buffet for just $5.99. All the salad, pasta, breadsticks, and of course, delicious piping hot pizza you can eat. How about dinner? Try the Triple Treat Box from Pizza Hut. 2 medium, 1-topping pizzas, an order of breadsticks, and a Hershey's chocolate chip cookie, just $19.99. Pizza Hut in La Crosse and Winona. Call for delivery or order online. Pizza Hut. The next time you visit the west coast of Wisconsin, there's a hotel in La Crosse you need to check into. Here's General Manager Roxanne North.
We want to treat every guest with the best that we have to offer, and that starts with the front desk all the way through the housekeeping department. My general philosophy in life is I treat my staff the way I want to be treated, and I pass that on that we treat our guests that way.
For reservations, visit the website, settlein.com.
People come here, we want them to feel like family.
Whatever your perfect temperature, you'll enjoy consistent comfort with the heating and air conditioning systems homeowners rank #1. American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Carey Heating and Air Conditioning, your residential specialists, providing Coulee Region families with perfect indoor weather all year long. Call for your free estimate today.
26 Sportsmen, one more time, looking for one color, it's green. Jason Stark had a leash on Worth at that time, was not going to let him step away out of turn 4. Stark, very impressive. He's never been in that Dave Trude powered number 2 before, and he's holding his own. Good lap that time, 17 to go. The front field starts to go single file. It's Worthen, followed by Stark and Bachman. If Bachman can finish in front of Nick Clements, he would take the chase. He would also have to finish in front of Brian Hesselberg. Brad Worthen stepping away from the field. In tow is Steve Bachman. And Stark is back to 3rd. Then it's going to be Schermerhorn, Arneson, and Brent the Freight Train King. You remember what happened with those two about 4 years ago? Campbell and Jeremy Wolf. Still in the top 10. Jason Toma battling Hansen door to door. He'll pull away. And a bunch of clean air for the 6 to suck up. Bachman reeling in Worthen. Down to 4 car lengths. Billy Doc Nels, wouldn't it be something else if Steve Bachman were to win this race and the Chase Championship at the same time?
That'd be the topping to his season. It's not the way he wanted to end it. He wanted that season championship, but he'll take an Oktoberfest championship and a Chase championship to make it all better.
What about Bad Brad Worthen, only his 2nd year in a Sportsman, and he's currently leading this thing with about 12 and a half to go.
Like we talked about on the TV show with him, it's just amazing the progress he's shown over the last 2 years, and the skill is there.
So Schermerhorn runs by himself in 3rd. Then it's Brent the Freight Train Kane. Jeremy Wolf passing cars now. He's in the top 5. Stark slowly fading backwards. He'll go door to door with Nick Clements. Bachman still tail grabbing Worthen. Half a car length. Remember, this is reminiscent to one of
Worthen's wins this year is when Bachman was all over his back end and Worthen just continually kept slamming the door shut.
You know, and Bachman told us he learned a couple of things about his car that night. Let's see if he can apply them lessons here.
10 to go. We're halfway home for Worthen, Bachman, and Schermerhorn. Problem is in the 51. Kevin Berg's going to pull off the track in turn number 3. Bachman's in a really weird position right here because he's got to find a way to get underneath or over the top of Worthen, and at the same time, don't leave any space of him for Schermerhorn, who's always fast.
Now, Schermerhorn is no stranger to finding his way to the front when it comes to racing sportsmen here at La Crosse.
Got Brent the Freight Train Kane by himself in 4th. Now here comes Clements. Clements passing 2 cars. He got Jeremy Wolf and he got Jason Stark-Alapago.
With 8 laps to go, does he have enough time to catch up to Bachman to give that chase race, make that chase race real interesting?
Dusty Mann still inside the top 10. In front of him is Toma. In front of him is Arneson. Worthen slowly starting to step away from this one. What a huge victory it would be for Bad Brad Worthen, 4 on the year, but this one is Oktoberfest. Passing flag is out for Truett, for Scott Luck, and Dakota Miller. 6 to go for Brad Worthen. Championship party is in the exhibition hall tonight, and I guarantee Brad Worthen's going to be having a mic and a stage someplace.
This would be the biggest win of his career. It would make them 3 wins earlier this year pale in comparison to one of the biggest wins he's ever had.
Well, Nick Clements, who will be our 2016 Sportsman Champion presented by Dean Satellite Security, has found his way by himself with a bunch of clean air in the number 5 position. But he's really gaining no ground on the leaders with
slowly 4 to go. On that top 3 is Brett the Freight Train Kane. This is going to be interesting with 4 to go. 4 cars going for an Oktoberfest championship.
Dakota Miller's going to pull off. Jason Stark is going to solidify Rookie of the Year. All he's got to do is drive caution-free for the next 3 laps. Jeremy Wolf running a solid 7th position. Then it's Jake Arneson, Dusty Mann, Jason Toma, and Conrad Jorgensen. 2 to go. Time to move it or lose it. 4, Steve Bachman, Rick Schermerhorn, and Brent the Freight Train Kane. Kane is reeled in Schermerhorn, bumper to bumper. Lap traffic. Dave Truett's going to pull off the track. He's just warming things up for tomorrow night's Great Northern Sportsman Series race. White flag is out. 1 to go for Sparta's Brad Worthen. All he's got to do is just tiptoe around. Scott Lucker, just stay where he's at. Bachman's behind Schermerhorn, Kane, and Clements. On a turn 4. Your Oktoberfest feature winner is Bad Brad Worthen. Bachman will take 2nd, Schermerhorn 3rd. 4th goes to Kane. Jeremy Wolf rounds out the top 5.
Well, folks, want to thank Mark Bronstad, Todd Wilson for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed that sportsman race from Thursday night, the first ever feature win for Oktoberfest for Bad Brad Worthen. And congratulations. He's got his car for sale because he's looking at bigger and better things at the La Crosse Speedway next year. Just a reminder, rest of October, nothing but races. We're going to show you recaps of everything, the chills, the spills, the crashes, the fires, and some very victorious celebrations with over 450 entries, track records dropping, and over a dozen championships. That'll do it for this week's program. We'll see you next week with more fest races here on KQEG TV.